guys, what's going on, dudes? It is David here. We're back with another video now. In this video, guys, well, it has been announced now that NASCAR has a new, or should I say, returning format for the championship when it comes to this season. That is right, guys. The chase is back. You're going to have 16 drivers competing to win the NASCAR Cup Series title. Now, the last time we saw the chase, I believe it was around 2012. I want to say 2012, 2013, because I believe they introduced the playoffs in the first year, and I think Kevin Harvick won the first year in 2014. So about 2013 when it was last year the playoffs. And it's really been sentimental because growing up for me, I started watching NASCAR around 2005, 2006, which is around the chase for the Spring Cup. And so I'm very familiar with the chase and how it worked. Now, I'm not even gonna bullshit with you guys. There's a part of me that doesn't like the chase, hence the reason why that when I talk about Jeff Gordon's not a five-time champion because of the chase. And we can all agree on that because that 2007 season that 2007 season for Jeff Gordon was one of the best seasons you could ever have in NASCAR, and he still managed to come second in the championship to Jimmy Johnson, even though he had more top fives, even though he had more top tens. I really just don't understand it, but still, now that the chase is back, what does this mean? Well, we're gonna have a legitimate champion for more specific reasons now, because I can't even lie to you guys, when it came to the playoffs whole system, that final chase one race, like to chase the championship, that was a joke. It was honestly a joke because that was never going to determine the real champion. If I look back at some of the greatest moments that I've had watching the chase, I look back at the Tony Stewart versus Carl Edwards in 2011, where Carl Edwards should have won the championship, but Tony Stewart won 5 races out of the final 10 races in the chase to end up winning his second Cup Series championship. Then I look at Brad Keselowski in 2012 with that whole Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Clint Bowyer situation that caused a lot of drama, that had a lot of excitement, that had Clint Bowyer running in Phoenix to go fight Jeff Gordon after Jeff Gordon I took him out of a chance to win his first championship and that all. So the chase gave you a lot of good moments, but let's not all forget, the chase is also where a certain Jimmy Johnson won 5 straight. He won 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. Yeah, Jimmy Johnson won 5 straight. And if I had to look back at the years of the chase, coming from 2004 to 2013, outside of Jimmy Johnson, you had Kurt Busch winning the championship in 2004, Tony Stewart in 2005, Tony Stewart in 2011, Brad Keselowski in 2012. So besides Jimmy Johnson, in the space of 12 years, you only had 4 other champions, and that is due down to Jimmy Johnson winning 5 straight. We could have had more. We could have had Jeff Gordon winning a 5th championship, but we're not even going to get onto that. But still, now that we have 16 drivers, and I can't even lie to you guys, I wish it was smaller because I feel like 16 is just a bit too much. I feel like the perfect number for the chase in NASCAR, now that NASCAR has brought it back, was going to be 12. Because 12, even though I'm used to like the whole 10 race, 10 race, 10 drivers basically going for the championship when it comes to that, it just feels a lot better with 12, in my honest opinion. And the one particular reason why I'm so excited for the chase to be back is because for a majority part of the time, as I'm watching NASCAR growing up, the final race for the chase was always Homestead Miami Speedway. What is the finale for this year? Homestead Miami Speedway. And let's not forget, one of the best years that I remember watching NASCAR, the 2005 season, where RIP Greg Biffle, he won 5 races in that season and ended up beating Mark Martin in the final race. And Tony Stewart did not win the race. He finished 15th, 16th to win the championship. It was just all about the last 10 races, and he just had more consistency over those 10 races. And that is what's really going to be determining the champion for this year. Consistency. You cannot have any mistakes. You can have mistakes, but you can't have that many. Because if we look at Jimmy Johnson in 2005 season, Jimmy Johnson had a very strong season. Greg Biffle won 5 races and only finished second in the championship, and he was still a good majority of the points back. I believe heading into that final race, Carl Edwards was actually second in that race. and Greg Biffle ended up finishing second. And Carla was like 67 points back or 80 some points back when he came to the final race in Homestead. And Tony Stewart still managed to win the championship. So that tells you that Tony Stewart was just consistent over the season. And when it came to those final 10 races, he was just the most consistent out of all of these guys. And that is what is going to determine who wins the NASCAR Cup Series championship for me this year. Because in order to be consistent, there's no winning you're in now. You have to stay consistent through all the first 26 races, and then when it comes to the final 10 races, you have to be on your game. You can't have any mistakes. You can't have any pit road speeding penalties. You have to be on your game. So yeah, when it comes to the whole NASCAR and the chase coming back, I'm personally excited for it. I'm ready for it to be back, and I'm so happy to be watching NASCAR this season now, knowing the chase is back because I didn't like the playoff format in my general standpoint. I just never really said it, but still, the chase is back. I'm very excited. It's going to give a lot of nostalgia for me seeing all these guys and like just like competing, like everything like that, and seeing all the guys that used to like race in the chase, like still now back competing in the chase after like it's been gone for a couple years. But still, let me know what your opinions are in the comments down below, guys, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.